after this many thousands of years, imagine that name has so much vibration and power. Why do you think it is? Why do we still remember him after so many thousands of years, and we are just so anxious and thrilled to have our Ram Mandir in Ayodhya?
Yes.
Because that's our identity. Ram is just simply not a god. Yeah, why he became God? Because of his qualities, let's not forget. He brought values, and he proved that he was born on this earth as an ordinary man like you and me to show the values we need to have as his people. Now that we got our Ayodhya back and building the Ram Mandir, are we all ready to invite him to his birthplace to be his people?
Yes.
When he returns to Ayodhya, he's also expecting his people to invite him with the qualities and values that he cherished more, that we all remember him even today. That's what my focus of my talk is going to be today. How do we welcome Ram? How do we bring back the values and culture that he cherished and he's remembered from? Next slide. Majority of us think that our identity is Hindu. Fantastic. We should all be thinking we are Hindu, otherwise we are not doing justice to ourselves. We don't identify ourselves. Why do we think that our culture is important? Our identity is important. Identity has few facets. It's just not your name and not being born in a Hindu family. What makes us Hindus is the values and culture and some of the aspects of life that we bring into our practices. Our culture is the most important thing, and our values and celebration of festivals, which we all do. Let's remember, while we talk about celebrations, let's also remember the value and the message that it brings into our life. We need to start feeling those messages and living those messages in our life. That is the first step to getting ourselves prepared to invite Ram into Ayodhya. Every day when you remember Ram, remember, we are prepping ourselves to invite Ram. That itself is a step to divinity. And when we talk about identity, we definitely have to acknowledge that we are conservatives, because we believe in certain family values that we are just going to see which are those few important things. Next slide, please. What our Hindu Dharma says, do we all have to practice the values that Ram left a mark in our life as values and qualities to be identified ourselves as Hindus? Pro-life, meaning inviting a new life into our lives, into this world, who will take our values and culture forward. That's what a new life is. Always welcome a new life. May it be a boy and a girl. That's who is going to take our torch forward. And as families, we do believe in parents. That's what Ram has taught us. He was that Arjakari's son who, without asking a word, he went into the exiles for 14 years, never asked a question. That's the respect that we show for our parents, because they know what is good for us. If our parents didn't know what's best for us, none of us would be sitting here enjoying our life and the luxuries we are in today. And children, they make a very beautiful and important part of our life. Without children, there is no completion. Give them the love. That's what Ram has taught us. Loving everybody, all his people as his own children. That's the message of loving children. And of course, our own children are also part of Ram's family. We need to start telling our children, you are not only my child, you are the child of this Ram. We are going to be celebrating in Ayodhya. Thank you. And protection. He believed in protecting everybody. He believed in protecting animals, people, all his people in his kingdom. And he stood for dharma. But he also had the Dhanush and Ban. Why do you think he had Dhanush and Ban if he always was a Shantamurti? There is a reason for that too. To protect dharma, to protect self. And to protect self and dharma, you do need Dhanush. Without that Dhanush, you would never have brought back dharma on earth. That is, condemning Ravana and killing Ravana to bring back his abducted wife. If that could happen to Raja Ram's wife on earth, that could happen to any woman on earth, which is exactly what we are seeing. So what are our responsibilities? Even for that, Ram had set an example on earth. Then the important quality of being a Hindu is patriotism. Be patriotic and loyal to the country and the land that you are born in and that you are living in. If India is our mother, which we always should respect and cherish, we should respect and be loyal to the home that we made, that is United States of America. This gave us our home. That's what our Puranas had taught us. That's what Ram taught us. Loyalty and patriotism. Even when he was in the forest, he never forgot his duties and loyalties to his Ayodhya. That's how he identified himself. Without any of these qualities that you're seeing on the screen, you wouldn't be called a Hindu. The Hinduism and the Hindu that Ram wants, and Ram set a stone, what our qualities must be. Next slide, please. Now, what is pro-life? Let us not politicalize it. Let us Hinduize it. Because Ram and our Puranas have laid a stone. And in a little bit, if you can see on the screen, there is the reference from Srimad Bhagavata Purana, in the 3rd chapter, 3.31.1 chapter, that is the 3rd chapter, the 31st sloka. If you see, there is a reference of pro-life, how we Hindus have set a precedence of value for life, celebrating a life. And there is also a reference in Garuda Purana, and these are all not the scriptures that were written recently. They've been there for ages. Even before the Ram's time, even Ram had read these Puranas to inculcate those values in him. His gurus had taught him. So how old and Sanatana are our values? And that's what Ram has established. Next slide, please. And we talk about values. Let me just read a small liner here. He who causes abortion, plunders a town, kills a cow, or strangles a man, that means killing a human, goes to the Rodha hell, that is the worst kind of naraka, that is narak jate, we all use that, you know. And this is not what I wrote. This is from Vishnu Purana, chapter 2.6. Next slide, please. And interestingly, if I go back to the previous slide, which is the values, I want to give a quick reference of Bhagavatam, where even if we all revere Krishna, and during his birth, how was he born? How was Balrama born? We should all remember that. We had the technology, and Rohini was the first woman those days who knew how only not to deliver the baby and to incubate it and surrogate the baby. When Devaki begged Rohini to save her children when she was just got pregnant with Balrama, so that her brother would know that the seventh child was never born, so that they can cheat him with the count, they had little hope to save Krishna, who was to come. Rohini delivered the baby, the fetus of Devaki, and surrogated Balram in her womb and gave birth to him. What does that have to tell us? Even our Puranas are saying saving a life is very important. How you bring it to world to save it is sometimes the choice you make and the choice you must make. If it is dharma, do it. And also, okay, I'll leave that point and for the later talking points. Next slide, please. Protection, another value that we are talking about. What is all this protection? Self-defense is the protection. Protecting dharma is our main value. If you can see on your screen, I have always grown up hearing this verse. Ahimsa paramo dharmaha, meaning non-violence is the ultimate dharma. That's all we have been taught. But is this verse complete? Let us see if that is complete. No, it is not. The second part of the same shloka is Dharma himsa tadevacha, meaning so too is self-defense in dharma. This is where we need to stop, take our thought one step back. I'm sorry, I have to give you an example. I'm now compelled to give this example, otherwise this point would be so incomplete. Dharma himsa tadevacha. All Gandhijis and all these people said, okay, ahimsa paramo dharmaha. Non-violence is ultimate. Do not react. There you go. We all followed that. But never anyone told us this second point here. So, dharma himsa tadevacha. That's exactly what Rama did when Sita was abducted. That was self-defense. Without self-defense, there is no dharma. You have not followed the dharma. Thank you. Without your self-defense, not only dharma, protecting people who are in needy is our dharma. Now I want to take an example of why we have failed in this dharma himsa tadevacha. We saw Kashmiri Hindus getting killed and raped and burnt alive, and we never responded.
I'm a Kashmiri Hindu. Thank you so much for speaking about this.
Thank you. Thank you. We left our self-defense guard down to let our Kashmiri brothers and sisters down. Now the time is to follow dharma himsa tadevacha. Make your voice heard, be loud, and be a leader yourself to say, no, not acceptable. They are my own brothers and sisters, and they need to go back to their homes. They are driven out of their homes. We need to start thinking, no, that's not acceptable. Protecting righteousness. What is righteousness? One's own rights. Your home is your right. Your family is your right. Your parents are your right. And what is good for the society is what is right. You don't be an aggressor, but don't even drop your self-defense. Dharma himsa tadevacha, dharma himsa tadevacha, dharma himsa tadevacha. Self-defense. Now you go into the self-defense mode. Now protection. Of course, I've talked about this. It's okay. So when you make your choices, even today, make sure that we follow our Hindu dharma and Hindu principle. That's what our choice should be. I mean, yeah, gun laws, gun-related violence, we'll find solutions. But don't give up on your dharma. I'll give you another example right here. Both Sita and Draupadi, Sita was abducted and Draupadi was insulted because both the women were self-defenseless. That's when people will attack you. It's okay. Use your self-defense. Kabhi buddhi, kabhi vak. And owning a weapon, if that's going to protect you inside your home, your daughter, your mother, your sister, so it be just by having the possession of a weapon, you can protect your women, so be it. Next slide, please. Of course, I talked about this. And you know, I like to actually love to quote one of the most very touching quote that I felt when I heard from former Chief Minister Jayalalitha. You know what she said during all this Ayodhya thing going on? When somebody, a guy came out and asked her, oh, what do you think of Ayodhya temple and what should happen? She just simply said, it is logical that Ram temple must be built in his birthplace, Ayodhya only. Where else can you build it? How beautiful. And today, Ram has proved that he left his traces archaeologically, both as Ramasetu and in the place he was born in Ayodhya, where we are going to have our Ram Mandir. So he is the man, he is the man with perfection and qualities that he definitely cherished, and he never spoke a lie. And now the truth is out. The whole world knows the truth that yes, Ram was on our beautiful land called Bharat. Now, where is our Dharma going, and what is happening to our Hindu brothers and sisters? I have been fighting this for the last 3 years, and I have been loud and very aggressive. USCIRF, oh it's spelled wrong, I'm sorry, which is the International Religious Freedom, which makes Hindus to be, there are so many reports on Hindus that we are terrorists. We are not. We don't even have self-defense. Is that the reason all our Kashmiri brothers and sisters were kicked out and killed? And now it is time to unify. We need to represent ourselves, and we need to have a voice. We will represent in the Congress, in the Senate, wherever we go, our Dharma. We take our qualities and values even on this land and spread Ram qualities, and let's make the Rama Raja everywhere. What's wrong? Why should only India be the Rama Raja? Let US become a Rama Raja. I think that concludes. Please remember, every day we have to remember we want to welcome Ram in Ayodhya. The only way we will welcome him is to start practicing those values. Bring those values, cherish them, and remind us and act on them. Just thinking about them is not enough. Be united. Come forward. And make your own voice heard. Thank you. Namaste.